So good to see you again.
You too.
How you been?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Did you get some rest?
Not that much, but you know.
It's got to be hard.
It's not, it really isn't, you know, it's doing our dream job. It really is. This feels like what we were meant to do, so that isn't hard.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I want to talk about the ambitious goal in environmental terms.
Okay.
You know, and I want to start off by asking you why you guys decided Costa Rica to be the beginning of the tour.
Well, Costa Rica, because firstly, we'd never been there before.
Okay.
Secondly, they generate most of their electricity with renewable sources. All right. So that meant that we could charge all our batteries and everything with 100% renewable sources. So it was actually an ideal starting point for us. And because, you know, I think a lot of their policies to do with how they run their country is very environmentally friendly. So I think it felt like a good marriage.
Cool. Let's talk about the expectations of the band regarding those goals in environmental terms.
Well, we're just trying to get it as environmentally neutral as possible, so that really, because we love touring and we want to keep touring, but we want to do it without feeling like we're destroying our environment while we do it, you know? So I think we're about halfway, about 50% better than we were last time.
That's great.
It's a start.
I know.
But we know we're pushing to get further and further. You know, but there's still the big problems are really transport, you know, freighting stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
that's never really gonna go away if you want to keep touring. Right?
Yeah, unless someone works out something better.
Yeah, something electrical or some sort. As you move forward in this initiative, what do you learn?
Well, I learn a lot. I learn that there's no one single solution. It's a really complicated, interlocking problem, and there's no perfect solutions as well. Some things you think, well, you know, we'll use biofuel for our trucks, but which is great in that it produces less carbon dioxide, and because you're replanting the stuff, but then also you're taking up maybe potential food crops. You know, you're taking over food crops by planting more biofuel crops. So there's always sort of like a balancing act to be found, but I think we're sort of navigating it as best we can.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely a daunting task.
Yes.
You know, because it's also such a huge tour. You know, it's such a huge spectacle as well.
But I think to your point though, it means that we're able to experiment. It's big enough that we can try things, and if they don't work, it's not the end of the world. Whereas for bands doing smaller scale things, they can't do that, because if they waste a bit of money, you know, that's all of their tours over, you know. Yeah,
sure. Does the decision to stop for several dates on one city, like you're gonna do here in Bogotá, like you did in Brazil, like you're gonna do in Argentina for 10 nights, have anything to do with that initiative as well?
Well, I mean, it works well, yes, but we can only do that if people actually want to come.
Which they do.
Thankfully.
I mean, that's crazy. 10 nights.
Yeah,
man.
that is, I can't even imagine that. We just did 6 in Wembley Stadium in London, and that's the most we've ever done anywhere.
This time in Argentina, it's going to be like over 500,000 people.
That's mind-blowing.
It's insane.
Yes. I mean, it's crazy. We come to Bogotá and can play twice here. You know, this is
we actually wanted 3. It would have been great to have 3 shows.
Really?
Why didn't you guys do it?
Oh, we'd already booked Chile. I'm sorry.
I know. Yeah, I was talking to a few friends at lunch, and they were like, they should have done 3, man. You should tell them. And I was like, okay, I will. Well, yeah, but I thought, you know, in terms of environmental concern, maybe it works. You know, maybe it also works to, you know, kind of stay there for a few dates.
Yeah, I mean, it does work in that you don't have to ship anything and you don't have to build anything, but at the same time you may bring people in from further away. So there's never a sort of perfect solution.
How long did it take you this time to get this tour arranged? How does it work for Coldplay to sit and sort out what you're going to do and how you're going to surprise your crowd?
Well, firstly, we work with wonderful people, staging people and lighting people, and incredible teams of people who've been with us for a long time. And so we started planning this one probably 2 or 3 years ago, and then slowly it built up, and then all sorts of crazy things happened, like the pandemic, and being difficult to buy things and ship things, and so it was a challenging build up to this tour, but I feel like we've got to a place now where we are as good as we've ever been, at least, I think. A lot of the ideas we have in the show are ideas we've loved in previous concerts we've done. We still have balloons and confetti and fireworks. We just have more of them.
Right. Yeah, it just kind of builds up. The ideas just come around and you add them up to what you had before.
So we like this, and then obviously there's lots of new songs as well, so we've got new ideas for those songs.
How long does it take for that to happen, to brainstorm and sit and say, okay, we got this show ready?
Well, it was probably 2 years to the first show, and then even on the first show, you're like, it's because you don't know until you do it, really. Then it takes another 10, 20 shows, and then you get to another stage where you think, we're somewhere really good now. And then again, after another 20 shows, you'll be like, well, maybe we should start changing things again.
Okay. You're pioneers of engagement with audiences, which is something that becomes more important as time evolves and audiences become a part of the musical experience through platforms. And then once they see those things happen on stage, they feel like they need to be a part of the show. But there's another faction of the music industry and the entertainment complex, if you would, where some artists are not really interested in having their shows being, shot through a cell phone. So many of them just say, please don't take out your cell phone.
Yeah.
What's your take on that stance?
Well, I feel like if we're sort of into letting people do what they want to do when they're at, they're coming to the concert. It's their choice whether they want to film a bit of it or not. We ask them in one song to put their phones down just so they can have a dance and be together for one song. And I feel like the rest of the time they're free to do what they want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy,
Okay, cool. And I suppose so is everyone in the band, 'cause...
Yeah, they don't. No one minds. No, not at all. I think it's not up to us to tell people what to do.
Does it become an essential part of the experience?
What, filming it?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think
because it's like when you're on social media looking at everything that's going on in the tour, you really want to buy these tickets, Like,
well, that's good.
It wouldn't be the same if you did not really have that level of exposure through the fans.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And when it's less good when something bad happens, like you make an awful mistake and there's 10,000 people filming you. That's when you're like, I wish they weren't filming me right now.
I can understand that. Talk to me about the live streams in Argentina. How are they going to take place?
Well, so we're going to film, I think, the third concert there, and it's going to go out live in cinemas around the world at the same time, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
All right.
But I think, for us, this is a big deal. Argentina is, we've never done 10 shows anywhere, not in a theater, not in, anything. So it's very exciting for us.
If you had to choose 3 words to describe what you've lived so far in this tour, which would those 3 words be?
That's a tricky question. I think I felt like a connection with people. That's 3 words.
Connection sounds good.
Connection. Then there was many challenges to put on the concert, but I feel like, but I think that for us it is joyful to be there now.
Joyful connection.
And challenge.
Jonny, I can't thank you enough, for taking the time before the show.
No problem at all.
It's been great.
Nice to see you again. Yeah.
Take good care. Thank you.
Thank you.